Hi everyone. In the last class, we have seen various kind of oriented streams. One is buffered reader, buffered writer, and print writer. Okay. So in this class, we will see one more character oriented stream, that is input stream reader class. So this class is an extension of reader class. The name itself having clear cut understandability. Input stream reader class is an extension of a reader class. That is what I have shown in the hierarchy also. Okay, so the main purpose of input stream reader class is it is used for to convert data which is in bytes to the data in characters. Data in characters. Okay, na? So this is the purpose of input stream reader. Generally, there is an advantage of this input stream reader class. What it is going to do is it is going to read the data in the form of bytes, and this byte data it is going to decode into characters, decode into characters by using some specified character set, and by using a specified character set. Like for example, you already know one of the character set is UTF-8, UTF-16, ASCII, American Standard Code for Information Interchange, like this. These are all the various kind of character sets we call, meaning that the data which is printed in byte format, it is going to convert into character format. For that, we are going to use input stream reader class. Okay, so for every class we'll have various kind of constructors. So one constructor which is going to accept a single parameter input stream reader of file reader. I need to pass here object. What object I can pass? I can pass any kind of file object, meaning that, for example, I'm going to create an object for file input stream. File input stream f1 equal to new file input stream of some text file like abc.txt, like that. That object I'm going to pass here. Okay, so this is one syntax. Another one is I can able to pass input stream reader of system dot in. Guys, I hope you know the meaning of the system dot in, what I have explained during the explanation of scanner class. If you didn't get that, go through that, so you can understand the meaning of scanner dot in, meaning that it is used for to read the data from command prompt, meaning that I can able to use input stream reader by passing system.in. Okay, na? Fine. See, there is so any constructor can have more than one parameter, that depends upon the implementation. Here, I can able to create constructor which is having two parameters. So why we are using the two parameters means the advantage is we are going to implement using character set, meaning that first I will pass file object, followed by I can use there is one specified class is there, charset class, which is having a method for name method followed by encoded format that you need to define. Which encoded format I want to use? I want to use like UTF-8. Okay, meaning that what kind of encoding mechanism I am going to use here? UTF-8 mechanism I am going to use here. Okay, now so generally it is going to use the default encoding mechanism. If you want to specifically define the type of encoding mechanism that my system want to use, then I can use the method for name method, which is available in a class called charset class. So this charset class is available in a package called java.nio.charsetum, nio.charset class. So in this package, the class is existed. So if you want to work with if you want to define the type of encoding mechanism you want to for the program, then you have to import the package java.nio.charset class, right? So as it is an input stream reader, so just now we have created an object. So you know how to create an object, right? So we have created an object, let us assume. So through this object, I can able to perform various kind of operations. What are the various kind of operations I can perform? I can perform read operation, right? The main thing, I can able to read the data. That data can be an array of characters also, an array of characters also, or that data can be starting length followed by the number of characters you want to read from that position. So for that syntax is starting position followed by length of the data, followed by length of data. Okay, now. So these are the methods that is supported by the input stream reader class. Okay, fine. Next, we'll see output stream reader. Output stream reader class. So the same purpose, but just exactly opposite to that one. It is used for to convert character data into byte format. Byte format. So generally, it is an extension of. See, sorry, this is a writer. Output stream writer. Okay. So how we are going to create, how we are going to work with output stream writer class? You need to create an object. How we are going to create an object? By simply creating object for that. Output stream writer o1 equal to new output stream writer of object that you need to pass. So what object I need to pass? I can pass any kind of stream, writer stream. That output, for example, I'm writing file output stream, file equal to new file output stream of string path that we're going to define. Okay, so through this object, I can able to perform various kind of operations like write operation. I can able to perform write of character array of data, or I can able to perform string data like that you can use, right? So in addition to all these, we have a method, special method. That method is flush method. You know the meaning of flush method. It is going to flush the entire data. Okay, so like that we can use. There is one more method, get encoding method. This method, the purpose of this method is which is going to provide the type of encoding mechanism that the programmer is using. Meaning that what type of encoding mechanism he is using, that we can get through the method get encoding method. Okay, so the simple thing, if you want to convert the data which is printed in the form of bytes to characters, we can use input stream reader. So we are going to read. Similarly, we are going to write. So how we are going to write? From character data into byte format. Character data into byte format. The advantage is we can able to specify what kind of encoding mechanism we can able to use. Like what kind of character set we can able to use. UTF-8, ASCII, UTF-16, etc. Like this, we have various kind of uh, character encoding mechanism of them. Among those, if you want to specify a specific kind of character encoding mechanism, then you have to use a predefined package java.nio.charset class, which contains all this. See, observe. If you want, I can show that java p space java.io.charset class. Sorry, it is not IO, it is NIO, right? Observe. Hmm. These are the various kind of methods which are supported by this charset function. Among those, one method is for name method. Just observe somewhere it is for name is support. See this for name method. For name method which is going to accept what? A string data. What is that string data? That can be like type of character encoding mechanism like UTF-8, UTF-16, UTF-ASCII, all those that we need to pass. Okay, fine. Okay, so with the help of this input stream reader and output stream writer, I can show some examples for you by executing that so that you will get very clarity. First, I need to do import java.io.stuff. I will write. Okay, generally you need to write a specific class, but if you write like this, all will be default imported. Okay, fine. Next, uh, I can use class I can give some name as ISR. ISR public. See, first I will say ISR.java so that will give clarity. Public static void main string box it can throws. If you want you can throw exception here or you can throw using try block, right? I can use try block. Okay, fine. So here what my requirement is I need to convert data into bytes, data which is printed in bytes to character sum. Okay, first what I will do is I will read some binary data byte which is in byte format, Okay, fine. So what is my final outcome? My outcome should be presented with character data. So I will create one character array, char array equal to new char of some specific size. Okay, fine. Then I will use file input string fis equal to new file string of the type of file which you want to open. For example, uh, I want to use some archive.java, archive.java, archive.java. Okay, so this object I need to pass to where input stream reader. So input stream reader ISR equal to new input stream reader of FIS. Okay, fine. Now what I can do, I need to read that data. Which data I need to read? I need to read the data which is printed in archive.java file. So for that, what I can use? I can use the object of input stream reader through which method? Through the read method. So through this read method, I can uh, pass a character, right? I can pass a character. That's it. Next, I will print the data. System dot out dot println of data in the stream is system dot out dot println of. I will simply print that array data which is printed in the character. Okay, followed by catch block. Catch of exception e I will simply pass that. So if you want, you can print stack trace. You can write all those, right? I have saved this one. Let me execute. Java C space ISR dot Java space ISR. What happened? What are the data that is there completely it has read or not? See, data in the stream is package gamma system.out.println CSC me. Why it has read only up to here? Because it is satisfied 100 bytes of data. See, observe this ASCII file contains, sorry, this ASCII file contains a lot of data, large of data, but here we got only less amount. So for example, if I give 1000, then obviously the entire data you are going to read. Observe. Am I got or not? Yes. So like this, we can use input stream reader. Input stream reader. See, the another syntax I have, which I have explained, right? The other syntax is I can pass two parameters. So object comma, I can use charset dot for name. What is this charset? This charset is a class. This charset is a class. So we need to import this class. So how we are going to import this class? With the help of the package java dot nio dot charset. Charset dot charset. Or else I can simply write star so that I can pass. So in this particular package, I am going to use the class charset. In that, I am going to use the for name method, which is going to accept what parameter? UTF hyphen 8. UTF hyphen 8. Guys, observe one thing. I would like to show some difference here. So here, what I did, I have set the character encoding mechanism as UTF hyphen 8. UTF hyphen 8. I would like to show some other difference, which I am not going to set anything. This is ISR1. This is ISR2. I'm not passing anything, but here I am passing the same. So observe. Now, if I try to check the encoding mechanism, I don't want to pass anything. If I try to check the encoding mechanism, uh, for example, I am passing like ISR1 dot get encoding. ISR2 dot get encoding. ISR2 dot get encoding. Okay, fine. Now observe the difference. Okay, successfully compiled. Java space IS. What happened? So observe. Uh, this is without encoding. This is with encoding. So so based upon the type of encoding that you are going to use, that it is going to define. See what happened. Data in the stream is without encoding. It is like using a CP1252. With encoding, it is using UTF hyphen 8. UTF hyphen 8. So that is the advantage of get encoding method. Okay. Fine. Next, we'll see output stream writer. Output stream writer. So what we need to do in this output stream writer, we need to write the data into the file. We need to write the data into the file. How we are going to write the data into the file? By simply let me take a string data, which is in string like jk equal to hi, welcome to CSE branch. Welcome to CSE branch. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take output stream, file output stream, file output stream. Fy is equal to new file output stream, stream. And the same file I'm going to write archive dot. Okay. Now to read the data in encoding mechanism format, I can use output stream writer. Output stream writer YSW equal to new output stream writer. So which object I need to pass? Fy subject, because I am going to write into that file. Which file I need to override? I need to override the file archive.java file. Now I can write through output stream writer object YSW dot. I have the methods, right? Write method. So which thing I need to pass? I need to pass the string which is present in take a string. See, observe. See, ASIF file contains the data as like this. Now what I'm going to do? I'm going to override this data to which data? Hi, welcome to CSC branch. Let us check. isr.java. Okay, successfully compiled. Java space isr. Right? I need to show some completed. Some kind of text I need to show. Okay, completed we got. Now open the archive.java file. We didn't get any data, right? So why you are not getting any data? Guys, when you are writing something into the files, try to use the method flush method. So it is going to flush the data into the complete data. Observe. Hi, welcome to CSC branch. Okay, so this is about file uh, input stream reader and output stream writer. Output stream writer. Okay, so I hope you understood it clearly. Okay. Next, so with this concept, I can able to explain the things how to take input dynamically uh, from how to take the input dynamically to the Java program. I mean, mm, what I can say is dynamic way of giving input to the program. Dynamic input approaches. I hope you heard this meaning a long ago. In the starting of the classes, I have defined clearly, I have explained how to give input dynamically to the Java program. There are three ways I said, but I didn't explain it clearly there. I have explained only the scanner class, the scanner class. Okay. Now, as the concept is arrived, so we are going to provide the input to the system at runtime mainly in three ways. One is through buffered reader, which we have completed already. So what it is going to do? It is going to read the input and provides to the Java program, buffer reader. And another way is which you have already completed to the scanner class. Another way is through the console. Through the console. Okay. So while explaining the concept of buffer reader, I have explained the various methods. So read method, which is going to take a single integer, which is going to take array of characters, close method, readline method. All these I have explained while explaining the concept of buffer reader. So while creating the constructor, what kind of object I need to pass here? Here you need to pass a reader object. Here you need to pass a reader object. Okay, similarly, so here also I will use the buffer reader. So how we are going to create buffer reader object? By simply buffer reader br equal to new buffer reader of, I need to pass what here? I need to pass reader object. Reader object. Okay, so this reader object, if you are passing, uh, you can pass any kind of reader object here. So for example, if I am passing input stream reader, what is the functionality of input stream reader? Just now I have explained. The functionality of input stream reader is to convert data which is printed in byte format to the character representation, right? So I can use here simply input stream reader. I can use simply input stream reader. Why I am using this input stream reader here? Because to convert the data which is printed in byte to character data. See, these are the what are all these? These are all the various kind of approaches to read the data dynamically to the Java program. So to read the data, final outcome should be in the form of character format. So that is the reason I am using input stream reader. Input stream reader. So from where we are going to give the input? Through the command prompt, I am going to give the input, right? So just now I explained how to create what are the various constructors are available for the input stream reader. One is I can pass the direct object. Another way is I can use system dot in. Okay, so here I can use system dot in. Okay, so this entire statement, what it is going to define is, we are trying to read the data from the command prompt. We are trying to read the data from the command prompt. How we are going to read the data from the command prompt? Just I have instantiated the object for the buffer reader class. Buffer reader class by passing what object? Input stream reader object. That input stream reader object contains what data? Command prompt data. So through this object, I can able to read the data. So what are the various kind of methods are available in buffer reader? It contains read method, read array of characters. All these methods are there. Read line method is there. All those. So through this buffer reader object, I can able to read the data, right? So this through this read buffer reader object, I can use the method read method, a read line method. All these methods are exist for this buffer reader object. So through this read method, what I can do? I can read a single value. I can read a single value. If I want to take multiple values, I can iterate it. Okay, so what about this read line method? So I have already explained. So it is going to read a line of data completely. In the form of what format? In the form of string format directly. In the form of string format directly. Okay, fine. See, the thing is, uh, so to get more clarity, I will explain with a small example this one also. So what I can do is, mm, I can take the new one. This entire thing. These are all not necessary. Only IO package is required. This is AI. AI. Let me take some name. Java. Okay, fine. So what my requirement is, I want to read the data from the command prompt. Through which method? Through buffer reader class. Through files concept. Then what I can do is, I can simply create an object for buffer reader. Create an object for buffered reader class. Buffered reader. Buffer reader br equal to new buffered reader of, what object I need to, what parameter I need to pass? I need to pass any kind of reader object. So I am going to use here input stream reader. Why I'm going to use input stream reader? Because it can able to convert uh, byte data into character format. Why I'm using system.in? System is a class which contains the object in. Okay. Is it okay? Yes. So with this statement, I can able to read the data. So through which object I can able to read the data? I can able to read some data, right? Br dot, I can write like a read line method. Br dot read line method. So, so we need to prompt the user, please enter text. Please enter text. So that user can able to enter the data. That data will be able read by what method? Read line method. Read line method. So for example, it contains the data string yes or string name equal to. So name string contains the data which is entered by the user. So let me execute up to here. Java C space BAA dot I have it. Java space BAA. Observe, please enter some text. So meaning is that system.in is going to read the data from the command prompt. For example, JL. Enter. So that's it. Nothing is happening. We're trying to read the data. Okay, fine. So this read line method is going to read the data and available in the form of which format? String format. 1 minute. Name is plus name. Okay. I'm going to execute. Okay. Name is there. Am I right or not? Yes. Next, what I'm going to use? I'm going to use read method. For example, int is equal to br dot read method. Age is plus age. Age is 56. Age is oh, why you got? If you entered 56, you got is 53. Oh, any mistake? 40 or some 100. Are getting 49. So yeah. So, yes, the thing is here it is going to read the data in the form of ASCII values. It is going to read the data in the form of ASCII values. For example, I will try to enter some error. For example, Jaya. Okay. What happened? Okay. It is trying to get some kind of ASCII value. For example, what happened? We are getting ASCII value or not? Yes. The meaning is that is what I said. I think so. So this read method is going to read a single value. That single value is in the form of ASCII value sum. The capital A value is 65 only, right? Yes. The thing is, uh, the problem is if you are trying to uh, see, if I'm trying to enter some integer value, observe first value, second value, int a equal to f plus s. Println sum is plus J is S is F. Enter first value, enter second value, enter second value. First is, second is, so let us execute. Okay, please enter Jaya. Please enter the first value 5. Please enter the second value, S is 13. Automatically it is taking. Why? One minute. Let me check. What happening? Please enter first value 5. F is 3. I have entered only the first value as 5. That makes good once again. Okay. 4. It is getting 52. Why? Why it is getting 52? So it is again once again the ASCII value. Okay. Here my point is what I would like to conclude here is try to execute on yourself. Whenever it is going to read the data, uh, this will always read in the form of ASCII value sum. What does read line method? Read line method always read the data in the form of string format. Observe. Or else I will convert into read line method. Into read line method. Now it is execute so that whatever the error that I want to show. So it is always in the form of string format, right? String. String format. Maybe here we'll get incompatible error. What happened? Incompatible types. So what we can understood here, mm, the thing is before going to use before going to use this s value before going to use this s value, I need to explicitly convert it into which format? Integer format, because the user is trying to give the integer value, but the internally, because of using the method readline method, it is converted into string format. So again we need to convert into explicit conversion. So if you want to convert into explicit conversion, what you have to use? I have to use wrapper classes, right? Wrapper class concept is the wrapper class name integer dot parse int of which one? F. Parse int of one second value. Second value this dot parse int of yes. This is f val plus yes. Now you'll get the correct. Observe. Okay, yeah. Name is here. Please enter the first value 5. F is 5. Please enter the second value 6. Sum is 11. So I hope you understood. Meaning that whenever you are using this method, what you are going to do? You are trying to read the data in the form of string by using read line method only, by using read line method only. And another thing is, you are trying to convert the string data into corresponding format by using the concept of wrapper classes. By the concept of wrapper classes. So because of these two steps, meaning that if you are using the concept of buffer reader class, we are getting how many steps? We are getting a two-step process. So instead of that, why can't we go for the scanner class? So because of this reason, they implemented the concept of scanner classes. So this scanner class is available in a package java.util package. Java.util package. So which it contains uh, all these, meaning that it contains uh, scanner class, which is meant for to read the data from the what? To read the data from the command prompt only. To read the data from the command prompt, which is available from the version JDK 5.0. JDK 5.0 version. So what it is going to do? It is going to eliminate which concept? See, how, while explaining the concept, what I explained, you need to compulsory import the scanner class, and then you have to use specific kind of methods. Like if you want to read the integer data, I can use integer data. Simply, I can say that next triple X methods you need to use. That is what I say. For example, what I can do, I can create a scanner class object. Scanner is equal to new scanner of system.in. Scanner of system.in. Simply, if I want to read integer, I can read next int. If I want to read the string, which is the next line, complete next line, I can use the method next line method. Like that, you can use the various kind of next triple X methods, which is meant for to read the data. Is there any specific necessary to convert? Is there any specific necessary to convert into corresponding format? No need. No need. If you are not trying to convert it to specific format, is there necessary to use the concept of wrapper classes? No. No. So that is the reason we can have the choice of usage of scanner class. Okay, now. So what is the advantage of scanner class? So through this scanner class, I no need to use the wrapper class concept. I know to use the concept of wrapper class. But if you use the concept of buffer reader, you have to use the concept of wrapper classes. It is the concept of wrapper classes. Okay. So there is a drawback in the scanner class, which is not exactly a drawback. Uh, so there is another way to give input to the Java program. That method is through the Java console. Through Java console. See, before that Java console process, there are like some drawbacks are there for both buffer reader and scanner class. Buffer reader and scanner class. The thing is, what we can do is, uh, let me first explain the concept. Then I will provide the drawbacks. Okay, now the another way is I can use the concept of Java console to give the dynamic input. Dynamic input. So if you want to use the console class, first you need to import that class Java, which is available in a package java.io package. The class name is console. The class name is console. So which is meant for to read the data. To read the data from the Java console. Java console means from the command prompt only. So this console class having various kind of methods. Let me show. Java space java.io.console. See, there are some kind of methods are there. One is a read line method, which is going to read data and which is going to return the data in the form of string sum. It's going to return the data in the form of strings. Another method is read password method is there, which is going to return the data in the form of character lemma. So the thing is, for example, let me explain some scenario. There is just some data. There is some data. I want to take the username from the user. I want to take some password from the user. And I need to evaluate if these both are valid. I need to perform some operation. For example, For example, through scanner class or through buffer reader class, I can able to perform the same operation or not. For example, let me use the scanner class. Let me use the scanner class. For example, username is in the form of 535, which is an integer format. Password is also an integer, which is, for example, 535. 535. What I can do, I can create object for scanner class. I can create object for scanner class. For example, object name is SC. Then I can read the data which is meant for the method, next int method, which contains some value like which is stored in some location as n variable. Similarly, password also is stored in a variable called p, which is also contains sc dot next int. Next int. Next, what I will do, if this username, whatever the value which is entered n, which is equal to existing system data and what are the data that is entered by the user, that is the value is present in p, which is equal to existing system value, then what I can do, I can show that a login is successful. Otherwise, login fail, I can say. Otherwise, login fail, I can say. See, the thing is, uh, this statement, the second statement, int p means what? Password field. Here in this statement, if the user is trying to enter the data 535, how it is visible? It is visible like as usual, right? 535. Visual as usual like 535. Then the other person can able to view this data or not? Yes. That is one of the drawback. One of the drawback. And another thing is, if you are not writing any kind of system.out.println, what will happen? Can the user able to understood the data? Can the user able to understood whether I need to enter the data or not? He don't know whether he need to enter the data or not. For example, Amma, let me explain with an example once again. Dot job. Let me comment to here. What I did is I'm trying to read the data from the command prompt only. Through buffer reader. Before going to explain the concept through console, I will explain like this. So I'm going to read some name string name equal to dr dot read line. Dr dot read line. Some password string pw equal to dr dot read line. Dr dot read line. Okay. Now what happened? We're trying to read some data. Okay, if the entered name, if entered name, so how we are going to compare the strings? By using the equals method. Equals of, for example, the password username is CSC. And pw dot equals of, once again password is also ESC, just opposite to that one. Equal, and what I can do is login is successful, I will show. Login success. Else login fail. Login fail. Okay, let us execute. Which okay, a.java. See, anything is observing you? Have you observed anything? No. But we need to enter the name as CSC. Next thing we need to enter the password as ESC. Login successful. The thing is, every time you need to ask the user by using a specific method, println method, system.out.println. Enter username. Enter username and enter password. Enter password. This you mustn't have to ask the user. Otherwise, user won't understood what happened. See now, with the help of previous input, previous execution and now execution is different, right? Enter username CSC, enter password is some JKL, login file. Now you understood very clearly, right? So, but if you use the concept of console, use the concept of console, here this console having a method called a readline method, which is going to read a line of data which is in the form of string. It's going to read a line of data which is in the form of string number, which is in the form of string. But the thing is, it not only reading a line of data, but also whatever the data that you are passing over parameters, whatever the data that you are passing over parameter, it is going to print on the console. It is going to print on the console. That is the difference between a read line method in console and read line method in buffer reader. Read line method in buffer reader, that you have to see, observe. Now let me modify once again. See. Anyway, let me comment entire thing. What I'm going to do is I'm if I want to work with console, I need to create object for console, right? C equal to system dot. See, first system. I need to import this class. Which is available in which package, amma? Java.io package only. If you want, you can specifically import. String name equal to C dot readline. Okay, fine. Now I need to read the password, right? Password. Which is available in which format, ma? As I explained. See, observe. Here I have shown, right? The password. Password is available. Which password is available? Read password, which is going to return in the form of what? Array of characters. It's going to return in the form of array of characters. The thing is, in the previous example, while entering the password, is the data is encoded? Is the data is encoded? No. Whatever the data that you have entered directly, JKL is directly visible to the user or directly visible to the third person. Instead of that, if you would like to implement that kind of scenario, here you have a method called read password method. Read password method. Observe. Read password method. What happened is the data which you entered here will be won't be understood by third person, meaning that it is going to display in the form of star marks. And the same property will be applicable to the read password, the properties of read line, meaning that whatever the data that you are passing in the read password location, it is going to print on the console. It is going to print on the console. Observe, guys. Try to observe. So what data it is going to read? It is going to return in the form of array of characters, right? So I will write PWE equal to C dot. The method is read password method. The read password method. What I can do? Enter password. Why am I writing here specifically directly here? Because the property of this console read password method itself, whatever the data that you are passing over the parameters, it is going to print directly on the console. Enter username. Username. Now I have saved. I have saved in variables. Which variables? One variable is name variable, another one is character variable. Now what I can do? I need to compare. I need to compare, right? How we are going to compare if the data is present in the character array? First, I have a method called equals method. See, if I can copy this one and copy. If name dot equals of CSC and password dot equals of is ESC. But the thing is, here PW is available in which format? Character array. But this PW equals method is applicable in which data? On string data. So first, what you need to do is we need to convert this character array into string format. See, guys, while explaining the concept of I think a file input stream or file output stream, I have explained how to convert this character array into string format, right? By using a string class, string password, string password equal to new string of pwd. Simple. That's it. See, observe now. If I try to execute, what happened? Uh, cannot find a symbol console. We see available which package? Console is a method. Yes, observe, guys. Console is a method, right? So, as is a method, what is the rule of method? The rule of method is uh, the first character should be small letter. I hope you remember. Should be small letter. Small letter. Successfully complete. Java space Dia. Enter username. Guys, observe what is the difference between the previous one and this one? In the previous one, I have explicitly written system.out.println of enter username, but now it is directly asking enter your username. I have entered CSC. Now immediately it is asking enter password. In the previous one, I have specifically written please enter your password with the help of system.out.println. Password is e1. Observe, I am typing, but it is not visible. Typing, it is not visible. Observe. Once again, I am entering. Enter username CSC. Now I am trying to enter the password. Amma. E S E C. Enter. Login file. 1 minute. ESC, right? Password. Space dia. Password CSC. Okay. Enter password is where is the mistake? Showing login file only. Yeah. Here observe this is available in which way made a small mistake. Password, right? And the password. I converted it in the form of where? Password string. Now we'll get success. Enter username CSC. Enter password ESC. Login successful. Observe the difference is whatever the data that you are entering using the read password method, it is not visible. It is not visible. So what are the drawbacks of the previous methods, buffer reader and scanner class? The drawbacks are every time if you are trying to convey to the user, every time you are trying to convey to the user to explain something, every time you need to use the system.out.println method. Println method. And another one is another one is uh, every time you need to use either either like next int method or read line method specifically to access the data. Specifically to access the data. I mean, With the help of this nextint and readline, is there any security? There is no security. There is no security. But whereas coming to this read password method, we'll have a security. That is the advantage of console method. So these are the drawbacks. What are the drawbacks? Standard outer println you need to write, and there is no security for nextint or readline method. All those. Okay. I hope you understood clearly. Okay. So what we have discussed in today's class, the thing is we have seen what do you mean by input stream reader class, output stream writer class. Along with these, we have explained how to access the data dynamically to the Java program. We have seen three ways. We have seen three ways. One is through buffer reader, another one is through scanner class, another one is through Java console. Java console. So I hope you understood clearly, Ma. Thank you.